The morning began like any other. Or at least, that's what 17-year-old Elias Crow thought as he stumbled out of bed in his small attic room. The pale autumn sunlight filtered through a cracked skylight, casting a golden slant across dust motes that floated lazily in the air. His alarm clock buzzed angrily, demanding he face another day of school, routine, and the hollow monotony of a life that felt too small for him. But something was wrong. When Elias rubbed the sleep from his eyes and shuffled into the narrow hallway, he caught sight of himself in the hallway mirror. And his heart stopped. The reflection staring back at him was not his own. At first glance, yes, it looked like him. Same messy dark hair, same lean frame, same hazel eyes. But behind that reflection lay something else, a room that wasn't his hallway at all. It was a vast stone corridor lit by torches, with shadows writhing across the walls like restless spirits. His double stood there, dressed in armor, gripping a sword glowing faintly blue. Elias staggered back, blinking furiously. His hand reached toward the glass, hesitant, trembling. The reflection moved too, but not in perfect synchronicity. Instead of copying him, it smiled. A cold, knowing smile. And then it whispered, "You're late." The sound wasn't muffled by glass. It echoed in the hall around him, real and sharp as a knife. Elias yelped and stumbled back so hard he nearly knocked over a stack of old boxes. His heart thundered against his ribs. What the hell? The mirror. Elias tilted his head, sword glinting in torchlight. The gate has opened. You don't have much time. Before Elias could respond, the hallway light flickered. For just an instant, the reflection shifted back to normal, the plain reflection of a terrified teenager. But when he blinked again, it was gone. Only his real hallway looked back at him now. That should have been the end of it. He should have chalked it up to exhaustion, a half-dream left over from a restless night. But as he moved through the house, unease settled deep into his bones. Because every mirror he passed whispered the same impossible truth. The bathroom mirror showed a burning desert city with towers crumbling beneath storm clouds of ash. The mirror by the front door showed a battlefield littered with broken banners and fallen soldiers. Even the polished back of a spoon reflected something wrong, a great forest where monstrous eyes glowed from the shadows. Everywhere Elias turned, another world stared back at him. And each time, the reflection of himself was there too. Watching, waiting, sometimes armored, sometimes cloaked, sometimes crowned. But always different, always something more. By the time he reached the kitchen, Elias was shaking. His mother barely noticed, humming over the stove as she fried eggs. "Morning, sweetheart. You look pale. You okay?" He opened his mouth to tell her everything, but the words died in his throat. She wouldn't believe him. How could she? He barely believed it himself. And yet, when he caught a glimpse of the microwave's dark glass door, his reflection leaned closer and whispered, "Choose." That was the moment Elias realized this wasn't a hallucination. This was an invitation. And if he didn't accept soon, something terrible would happen. Elias's breath trembled as his hand pressed against the shimmering mirror. The glass rippled like water, but it was cold, unnervingly cold, as though the world beyond the reflection was made of frozen air. He swallowed. Behind him, his own reflection stared back, wide-eyed, tense, gripping nothing but the courage he barely had left. With a final exhale, Elias stepped forward. The glass folded around him. And then he was gone. He landed hard on a stone floor. The sound of his footsteps echoed, stretching into darkness. Elias looked up, expecting to see his bedroom or maybe another version of his world, but what greeted him was a cavern lit only by the glow of mirrors lining every wall. Some mirrors showed cities of fire. Others showed oceans stretching into infinity. A few reflected nothing at all, just black emptiness that seemed to swallow light. Elias realized he wasn't in one world. He was in the space between them. And worse, he wasn't alone. From the shadows, a voice whispered, "Few cross the glass, Elias. Fewer still survive the passage." Elias froze. His eyes darted across the cavern. A figure stepped forward, cloaked in silver threads that shimmered faintly in the dim light. His face was hidden by a porcelain mask shaped like a broken mirror. "Who are you?" Elias asked, his voice cracking. The figure tilted his head. "Names matter little here. I am the keeper of reflections. And you?" He lifted a long, jagged shard of glass, pointing it toward Elias. "You are out of place." Elias swallowed hard. "I didn't ask for this. The mirrors just started changing. I only wanted to know why." The keeper chuckled, the sound echoing strangely. "Curiosity. It is always curiosity that breaks the barrier." The keeper gestured, and one of the mirrors rippled to life. Elias's heart lurched because he saw himself. Not just himself now, but himself in another world, dressed in armor, standing on a battlefield, sword in hand, eyes filled with rage. Another mirror flared. Elias again, but older, his hair grayer, his body thin, sitting alone in a prison cell. Another mirror lit Elias laughing, surrounded by a family he didn't recognize. The keeper turned toward him. "Every choice you make branches into another reflection. Every fear, every desire, every failure recorded here. Do you understand now? The mirrors are not showing you other worlds, Elias. They are showing you what could have been." Elias's chest tightened. "Then why do they feel so real? Why does it feel like I could step into them?" The keeper's mask tilted closer. "Because you can." The keeper circled him slowly, like a predator. "But beware, traveler. There is one law of the glass. If you step into a reflection, another may step out." Elias's blood ran cold. He glanced nervously at the mirrors. Some of his reflections stared back with hunger. One, drenched in shadow, pressed its hand against the glass, smiling too wide. Elias backed away. "So if I enter their world, one of them could take my place." The keeper nodded. "Precisely. The balance must be kept. Many who enter never return. Their lives stolen, replaced by shadows of themselves." Elias shook his head. "No, that's impossible. I'm just one person. I don't belong here." The keeper's voice lowered. "And yet, Elias, you do." The cavern rumbled. Mirrors flickered, glass rattling. One cracked open with a shattering sound, spilling liquid light onto the stone. From it something crawled through. A hand, pale, fingers too long, nails sharp as razors. Elias staggered back, heart racing. The keeper raised his shard of glass, preparing to strike. "Your reflections have noticed you, Elias. And some of them want out."